All right. Well, welcome back again to another episode of Screams for Relief.
This is episode number 3.
It is 3.
Sweet.
Would have been a lot better. I fucking could have figured out all that shit.
You seem really upset. Are you
That
okay?
fucking drives me nuts. Like, why is it just like gone?
You go from 0 to 10. Like, just stay at a 5. It's okay.
That's what happens. That's why I don't like fucking updating shit, especially if it doesn't need it.
Well, that's because you have an Apple product. That would be my guess.
Fucking dumb. I don't know. It'll still be fine because once you have your mic, then it'll be fine. You can just plug into that. We'll have our own separate inputs.
I would have loved to go pick it up today.
Yeah.
But it's not my fault. The federal government has a day off.
You fucked up.
Yeah. Okay.
It's your fault.
But you're like this though. Like I'm pretty chill for the most of the cases of everything. Maybe because I have 2 kids and I deal with 2 kids and a wife.
I'm
all
just
the
as
time.
relaxed as you are.
See, you're amped up right now.
I wouldn't say amped up.
You're like 2 more bad things happening to flipping this table over and burning this whole fucking house down.
No, I wouldn't do that. I would never do that. So, this episode is following Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day was this weekend.
Sure was.
Get some of that cookie.
I did.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't? Of course.
Yeah. Did you make her food? Did you make your wifey food?
No, I bought her flowers though.
Did
and
roses?
3 roses.
Oh.
Yep.
2 more than last year, huh?
Well, it was funny because normally when I get her flowers, normally I get them offline and they get delivered to the house like when I'm at work. So it's like,
a surprise.
You're so sweet.
Yeah.
But truth be told, I kind of forgot about it. I didn't forget about Valentine's Day. I forgot about like ordering it like in enough time to where it'd get delivered on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So then she didn't say anything, but I thought about it and I'm like, oh crap, like I totally forgot to do that. So then I told her, I was like, hey, money's a little tight. That's why I haven't got you flowers. And she's like, oh yeah, no, I don't really care that much about flowers, which is you and I both know
bullshit.
It's a bullshit,
it's absolute
lie.
Bullshit. Yeah, of course.
So I was picking my son up early from school on Valentine's Day because they had a Valentine's Day party, and then I could pick him up early if I wanted to. There's a flower shop right in town, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go over there. So then I bring him in there, and I try to like make him a part of it. And I'm like, hey, how you pick out some flowers for your mom? And he's just so miserable about everything. He's like, I don't even want to go in there, Dad. I'm like, buddy, it's Valentine's Day. We got to do something nice for Mom. He's like, why? I'm like, that's just what
he's
you
gonna
do.
have trouble when he gets older.
I'm like, let's just come in here and pick out flowers. And I'm like, so pick out some. And he's like, those. Then he picked out like $130 like ration of like
God.
roses. I'm like,
No.
we're not gonna do that one. And he's like, well, why? I'm like, because it's a lot of money and these flowers are going to die. If we're going to spend that much money on something, I want to be able to tangibly
I
be able
can't
to hold
justify
it all the time.
doing that, spending a bunch of money when they're just
Then he's like,
die.
I don't know what you want. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because I call him Little Rochelle because he's just like,
for that reason,
just
yeah.
like his mom. So I'm like, okay. I was like, how about these? He's like, fine, whatever. And I'm like, okay, we'll get these ones. It was 3 pink roses, one for each person of her family, me and her 2 sons. Oh. And then I got a card and, wrote, love you, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then Eli's like, well, I want to sign it. I'm like, okay. So he signed it. He wrote Eli 8. He wrote the letters ELI, then wrote an 8 after it.
Why?
And I went, what's the 8 all about, buddy? He goes, I can't tell you. Like some secret
crafty
society.
What are you doing?
Like he's in some group or something.
So you have to cut your hand and.
So then I went back,
answer.
like when I got home and delivered flowers to her, I started looking at his schoolwork because we got a bunch of it like piled up and stuff that my wife wants to keep for like scrapbooking and stuff.
Yeah.
He writes Eli 8 on everything.
Really?
But it's not. I mean, because he's 6.5. You can clearly tell it's an 8, but it also kind of looks like a hieroglyphic. So I don't really know what's going on with all that. And sometimes he's in like these little weird things and he doesn't talk about it. He just
None of his teachers have been like, hey, your son's been writing 8s all over the place.
But see, he's at an age to where, like, it's just like, oh, it's cute, but maybe he's a part of some like dark
Cult?
secret society cult. Yeah,
Like 6-year-old Colt
Yeah, I don't
meeting
know.
on the playground.
He's definitely popular. Um, and the only reason I know that is because when he walks into class, when I bring him to school in the morning, everyone's like, "Oh, hey, Eli!" He high fives everybody. Like all the girls are like, "Hey, Eli," and then like bat their little eyelashes at him, and he's like, and he just like throws his coat, and like everyone wants to sit next to him. When I have sometimes about once a week, I'll go up there early and eat lunch with him because I can eat lunch with him in the cafeteria with his class,
Oh, that's cool.
and like literally everyone wants to sit next to him. And I'm like, no, his dad's gonna sit next to him.
Yeah, they're all shoving you out of the way.
I'm not just gonna
The
get
fuck
pushed
out of
in the
here,
back.
old man.
Yeah, get out
I
of
don't
here.
know you.
But no, it's definitely cool because my wife was really concerned about it because she didn't like school. She was born premature when she was born, and then she was on a bunch of like steroids and stuff when she was a little kid, so she was always overweight. She always got picked on and made fun of. So she was like super worried about that, about her
Kids
son
like
being
growing
made
up
fun
like
of.
that.
Yeah. But I'm like, Eli plays sports. He's popular. He's smart. He's funny. He gets along with kids. The only difference is the Eli that I see at home and the Eli that I see at school, or if like I brought Eli over here, it'd be like two totally different kids.
Absolutely, like quiet,
Yeah.
silent.
Yeah, because he's
by himself.
He's kind of introverted in the sense that he just likes he likes to be at home, and like that's when he can like be himself.
He was like that the last time he was here. He was just sitting in the lawn chair.
But like that's not
hanging out.
That's not him at all. Like he's such a fun. Like my youngest son.
Yeah, he was like
he doesn't give a shit.
He was all over this fucking place outside, and I love the fact that he was like fucking with all my mom's wind chimes and everything, and all the women were like, "No, don't do that," and all the guys were like, "Yeah, fucking tear it up."
But it's just funny because like, it's funny how different two humans can be when they both share the same DNA. They both have the same exact DNA from the same parents, or so my wife tells me.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm the real dad or not. But no, it's like they're so different. I don't know how it is with you and your sister. If you guys have similarities.
Yeah, we're pretty much the same person, I would say.
Yeah, they're like night and day, and it's just weird. Like my two sisters are like that. I'm really similar with my one sister, but my youngest sister, we're kind of like totally different.
Well, maybe it's a same sex thing. Maybe it's like brothers. Maybe they just end up being totally opposite, or sisters totally opposite. Because it seems like because you and your sister are the same, me and my sister are the same.
Or maybe it's just a crapshoot.
It could be. I don't know.
But no, it's like he would just be so much more fun if he just like didn't care about all that and just was himself all the time. But like I don't know. It is what it is. But like my wife was worried about that, and he's totally fine. But she still worries about it. I'm like, it's fine. Like don't.
Oh yeah, it's your kid. You're always gonna worry about him.
Not with school. I knew from like when he was a little kid that he would be fine.
Yeah.
But like
it's not so bad anymore nowadays though. Like it's like the whole being a fat kid thing. Dude, people don't pick on the fat kid anymore. I mean, the fat kid's the funny kid nowadays. That's how it's kind of flipped.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. I mean,
like towards the end of high school, that's kind of how it was. Everybody was like, "Oh, the fat kids are cool," and then it was kind of like, those nerdy anime kids are the kids that really got fucked with in high school. On my way out,
is that what you were?
No.
I mean, you're definitely a nerd, but you weren't like a Naruto.
No, I'm not running to the lunchroom, hunkered down, my arms flew back. Yeah, no, I'm not doing all that. No, I was a fucking geek.
Did you play Dungeons and Dragons in high school?
I played Dungeons and Dragons a year ago.
Yeah.
I was a geek up until like.
No. You're still a geek.
Ninth grade. No, yeah, but I got like fucking beat up and really picked on like 5th, 6th grade. And then high school.
See, I'm a little old.
It just kind of changed.
I'm just a couple years older than you, but like, I don't know if it was different where you went to high school or school at, but the kids that I went to school with, they were brutal. They picked on everyone for any reason.
No, my high school wasn't like that. My generation wasn't. Like I said, before high school, though, everybody was like that. Like, I was literally just getting my ass kicked and shoved into lockers and shit like that just because I had red hair and my mom gave me bowl cuts. And so my childhood growing up was fucking awesome.
Yeah. No, it was funny. And I think
But I came out all right.
I think every boy needs to have that bowl cut phase. It
No,
really
no,
toughens.
that's fucking terrible.
No, it toughens them up, though. I'm
No,
telling
it
you.
doesn't.
It calluses them
No,
up.
it,
So
no,
they're
it
good.
makes them angry at the world like me.
I don't
That's
know.
what it does.
I mean, because I had a bowl cut, and I convinced my mom. It took me forever to not have that stupid fucking haircut. But so
It's dumb.
on the basketball team, we all wanted this hairstyle to where it was like shaved, but like we had like bangs up, like in the front. It was just a thing. And it took me like a year to convince my mom to do that. So I finally did it, and it was fine. And then we all got our numbers cut and bleached in the back of
Oh
our
my
head.
God, you guys are so dumb.
But like that, and it was the same way in high school. Like, I told my mom I was gonna get a mohawk my senior year, and she's like, "Why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself?" Nah. I'm like,
Just a mohawk.
it's literally just hair, and she snapped about it. And the only reason why I even got a mohawk is because a friend of mine in high school bet me like $20 I wouldn't get it because at that time my hair was like past my shoulders. I had like super long hair, and so I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll get a mohawk, and I got a mohawk, and that bastard still hasn't paid me the $20 even to this day.
We gotta go shake him down. We'll find him.
Yeah, no, he makes all kinds of money. He's a supervisor at Jiffy now.
Oh fuck yeah, he's rolling in it.
Yep. But no, like I asked my wife, if you could go back, would you go back to high school? Like, if you could have a time machine and go back, would you?
Fuck no.
See, and that's what she said. But see, I loved high school
No way.
because I was kind of friends with everybody. So I got put in like the jock category because I played 3 sports a
Well,
year.
that's how I was, but I didn't. I still hated high school.
See, I just had such a fun time.
I had a fun time outside of school while I was in high school.
Oh yeah, I mean, but see,
So if we're talking about that time period,
See, my junior and
without
senior
school,
year-
yeah, fuck yeah,
I went to VOTEC called Career Center.
yeah.
So I only went to high school half the day, and
Well,
then
yeah, you're lucky.
so I literally like would be there for like 3 hours. We
But
left
you're
before
also
lunch.
working.
We drive to Mason, and we just have a good time. I did construction, and then I did marketing and management, and we literally ran a store when I did the marketing and management one. So like,
So you have to fucking do anything. You just hang out and
yeah, we watched like The Apprentice. So it was a super fun time. And of course, when you're not at school, you get to do other stuff that you wouldn't do in school, like
get fucked up and
do some illegal drugs and stuff.
blow over mailboxes with your cars and stuff. That was what me and my friends did a lot of. We all drove beaters in high school, so it was like anytime we'd go out booze cruising and just did bad stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, mailboxes were not safe when we were out and about.
No.
Cones, garbage cans. Yeah, we'd hit them all the
No,
time.
well, that and I always had, I don't know why, I always had a thing with traffic cones. Like, not the little ones, like
The big ones?
The big ones?
Yeah, we'd hit them all.
So if I found one, like they were doing construction like down the road from my house, at night I would go pick it up and then bring it home. At one time, I had 2 of those sawhorses, like MDOT
Yeah.
sawhorses, lights, blinking orange lights. I had like 2 cones.
You're
And I-
a klepto. That's what you are.
Then I
You have a
had-
problem.
Then I had some of the caution tape, and like I made like a own construction site in my room.
God.
Well,
Ridiculous.
because where I lived, we lived in a duplex, so it was a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house that had my mom and her boyfriend, my 2 sisters, and then me. Well, I get shoved in the basement like Harry Potter,
Oh, fuck yeah.
so I had the whole basement to myself, so I could just do whatever I wanted to do.
My nephew, he's very disturbed.
I remember one time we were screwing around, and I asked my mom to bring home some saran wrap from work. And because Jackass and like CKY, I was so into doing stupid shit and filming it. So those support beams that are in your basement that keep the house up,
Yeah.
we wrapped 2 of those up with saran wrap, and we try to like
Run through it.
fly through it. Like we put a couch on the other side, and I got a couch for free from a friend of mine who used to live next door, and he got evicted, so he left like all his shit. So like I brought like his couch and chairs
Why
and
would
stuff.
he just leave everything there?
He was a sketchy dude.
Smoking crack or what? Probably.
No comment.
Probably.
He was the one who I used to go over there and get super baked like after school and stuff.
Oh, like baking cookies?
Yeah. something like that. He was the first guy to show me how to make a pipe out of aluminum foil. When I was like 16.
That's good for putting water in your brain.
Yeah.
Healthy.
But no, so I stole all that stuff. I didn't steal it. It was there, so I just brought it over. One day, my mom came down because she would never like come down to my room. Like she would yell at the top of the stairs to like for food or whatever.
Yeah.
One time she came down and she looks around and she sees all the construction stuff in like mailboxes posted up.
Oh, she's probably pissed.
All these like couches and chairs that she had no idea where she came from. And she was like, "What the fuck happened here?" I said, "Well, you want to know what really happened, or you just want to say never mind?" She goes, shakes her head and just goes, "Just get it out of here." Of course, I never did until I moved out. Well, I mean, that's the one thing that I talked to you about and other guys is thank God phones weren't how they are now, how they were back then.
We'd all be in jail for a long time.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
like live streaming
Yeah,
shit on Facebook.
Yeah, we'd be fucked.
We'd all be in prison.
There'd be somebody that would always like film it and be like, "Hey, tag me in it," and
yeah, no, it'd be terrible.
Because we would do it too. We don't give a shit back then. It was like,
well,
oh,
and see the thing with like
consequences.
I didn't get a Facebook until I think it was out of high school when I first got a Facebook.
I think I was a freshman.
Maybe the end of my senior year. MySpace was the thing. That was the shit back then. Yeah. But I would never say stupid stuff on MySpace. Like I was just about always, like making my own page super cool and like putting music on there and stuff.
That's all I ever did.
That's why I took a Visual Basic. I took a Visual Basic programming class in high school so I could learn how to write code so I can change all this stuff on MySpace. Yeah. Which hey, heads up, Zuckerberg. Something you need to do on Facebook is allow you to customize your homepage.
You can. You just can't save it.
Well, yeah, I want to save it. I want to be able to put like a playlist on there. I really think they should. They need to bring back the top 8 because I love how funny that was. We're like,
oh, what the fuck, bro? I'm not in your top 5 anymore.
Yeah, and they was to get so bent out of shape.
Yeah.
But you just play dumb, like, oh really? Oh man, weird, I didn't even know.
I remember like dragging and sliding it, moving it. Like, now you're going from 2 to 4.
Yeah, fuck this guy. But
you were talking to Sally yesterday, you piece of shit. You know I like her.
But no, like, and that's the thing with like the NFL drafts in April, and the thing about these kids growing up with Twitter now is
kids on Twitter.
These these kids that are gonna be professional athletes. Of course, when they're 14, 15 years old, they say stupid shit.
Especially on Twitter, where you get away with anything on Twitter.
And then some kid will go, "Oh, I'm gonna remember this asshole."
Oh yeah, they
screenshot it.
They do too. People are crazy.
And then go, "Oh, I'm gonna remember this guy because he's like the football star and he's like made fun of this nerd his whole life." So then,
it's the nerd that takes him down.
A day before the draft, then this guy he'll float that tweet out in the interwebs, and then be like, "Oh, look what this asshole said. Said something about slavery or said something about degrading women," and then they go, "Oh my God, just in." So and so is a racist, sexist,
all sorts of
bigot,
crazy shit. Yeah,
and then he goes way down in the draft and he loses a bunch of money because you make way more money in the first round as you do the second or third round, and then ruins this guy's life.
Yep. Then you're sucking dick for fucking a score.
Last year or 2 years ago, this guy was he had I think it was a defensive tackle or a D end. He had one of those masks on with a bong. So you can light it with the mask on. So all of it goes.
Like a gas mask.
Yeah, but it was like a bong on it. And he filmed it, and I think he put it online, but he like took it down. Well, someone saved that thing, and then put it
within like a minute.
Like put it on the draft, like posted it online during the draft, and he was gonna be like a top 10 pick, and he dropped to the 4th round.
Why would that matter though? Who cares?
Because the thing about sports is, as much as you and I want to talk about how it's just sports, these billionaires run a business, and they don't want to pay a guy.
But it's not like he's fucking chewing pain pills and stuff.
But it was illegal.
Smoking the pipe.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean,
Bong in a crate.
it's the same way with that as it is if he had a film of him doing lines of coke.
Yeah,
I know,
but it shouldn't be.
I know. I'm in agreement with you
That's
that
the
it's,
shitty
that's
part.
not the way, but that's how they
All
look
because
at
they
it.
want money, and then
Yeah. No, it's just crazy, and that's why I'm so thankful for that. I mean, we filmed stuff, but we filmed stuff on a Sony Handycam, and like we would watch it. We
Yeah.
wouldn't just post it online.
yeah, no, you're like, all right, we'll go through, we'll see if we want to even edit
Yeah.
this, and then upload it to wherever.
Because I think YouTube was a thing then, but it wasn't.
It was a thing then.
But it wasn't like everyone is on YouTube now. Like it just wasn't.
Yeah,
as big of a
YouTube
deal.
is. It was like the originator of all these like hilarious fucking funny videos because there were so few people that had videos on YouTube back then as far as like funny videos that like the few that did do it.
Yeah.
That's like what made YouTube as big as it is now, and that's what made like doing stupid shit. As
I know.
big
That's
as
what I
it
was
is
telling.
now.
I was telling my son because he watches YouTube all day, and I was trying to explain to him. I was like, when I was a kid, we couldn't just watch funny videos on YouTube. We'd have to wait once a week for a show
Yeah.
called America's Funniest Home Videos, and we'd watch
Yep.
it on there.
Yeah.
He's like, well, how would you? Because he was like, well, what if you wanted to send stuff there? I was like, we'd have to record it, and you have to take the tape that the recording was on,
Package it
and
up.
you have to mail it to them, and then they would view it, and they thought it was funny enough, then they would put it on the show. And he's like, he was just mind blown. Like, I had to explain to him that when I was a kid, because, all right, so he has a Nintendo Switch, he has a PlayStation 4, and he goes, well, for Christmas this year, because he doesn't have the relevance of time understood. So I was like, his birthday's in June. I'm like, buddy, Christmas is farther away than your birthday. He goes, well, I want an Xbox for Christmas. I said before Christmas happens again, you got to go through like the 4th of July and Easter and your birthday and mom's birthday and dad's birthday and brother's birthday and Thanksgiving, all this other stuff. He's like,
You're last.
so he wants an Xbox, like the new Xbox One. I said, buddy, the Xbox is pretty similar to the PlayStation as far as the games you can play on, as far as the controller. Like, it's like the Nintendo Switch is totally different than the Xbox and the PlayStation.
Yeah, Nintendo's like really the only thing that's kind of its own category.
Right. So he's like, well, I want to play Fortnite. I'm like, well, you can play Fortnite on the PlayStation, but you can't even play Fortnite at our house because we don't have internet. And he just doesn't understand it. And I was like, buddy, when I was a kid.
Fortnite has an offline campaign thing.
do they?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
called Save the World.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what it was. They released like the PvP while that Save the World offline campaign thing was like in beta. And then you could play like the beta of that, but it wasn't really like a beta. It was kind of like a completed game, but it wasn't like released yet. So it was kind of like this weird like in limbo type game. But everybody was playing PvP, and then when they were done with PvP, then they would get off and go to like the campaign or PvE, and they would sit down and fuck with that.
Yeah.
And then they finally released it.
But anyway, I told him, I said, when I was a kid, we didn't have internet. Like, internet may have been a thing in the early 90s.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Number one, it was shit. And number two, not everybody had it.
I'm sure it was
Because
crazy
it was
expensive
shit.
then.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that good.
I don't know though. Would it be? Would it be about the same price as it would be now?
I don't know.
In relation to
I mean,
everything.
maybe. But like, I told him, I said, buddy, when I was a kid, I didn't have a cell phone because cell phones were definitely a thing then, but they were so crazy expensive that, I mean, most normal people couldn't afford them.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was a kid, they had those Verizon bag phones, whereas later you had to carry around like a briefcase. And my Aunt Carol had one, I think, and she said it was like $400 or $500 a month. And I mean, back then, that was all kinds of money back then. But I was like, I didn't have any of that stuff. And I said, I had a Nintendo. When I was a little kid, I had a regular Nintendo. Then I got a Super Nintendo for Easter. Then I didn't get a PlayStation.
Sega.
No, I never had a Sega.
I didn't either.
But then I got the original PlayStation when I was like 8 or something. But no, I told him, I said, I didn't have like three or four consoles. Like, you got what you got.
Yeah, and kids have it all today.
Yeah,
That's a crazy thing.
it's
They have it
crazy.
all.
And, it works out for me because I'll play with him. But, like, there's kids that he goes to school with that has all of it. They have Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, like all this stuff.
Just crazy.
And they're all in their bedroom. Like all my stuff is in the living room.
Yeah.
So we can
That's
all
how
play
it was always for me too growing up. Is like everything was like, well, it was this TV stand, but it had a top part before we cut it off and made it what it is now. But everything was down in those bottom right drawers. The PlayStation, I think the PS2 was down in that one to the left, and then all the games were up in the top.
Yep. No, and it's just, and my son, if he's spoiled, it's not for me.
It's from your wife.
No,
Oh.
no, it's like from her mom and my aunt and my grandma.
Grandparents,
Like
yeah.
they just
Grandparents will do it.
buy
for
him
sure.
everything. So like when his birthday actually comes and I want to buy him something,
You have nothing to buy.
No,
because
and
he
like,
already has
and then
everything.
like my
Then
friends
they make
are
you
like,
look like a dirtbag.
yeah, and like family will be like, well, what do we give him for for his birthday or for Christmas? Or I'm like, I don't know. What do you get
He's
kids? They
already
have
got
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, get them clothes. They need clothes, but of course,
Oh god, kids hate
I-
clothes
I- yeah.
for gifts.
he opens them up for Christmas. He's like, oh gee,
the
thanks,
fuck?
and just throws it. He's like, what else do you got?
Like that one video of that kid, he's like, they wrap up an avocado. He opens it up. He's like, an avocado. Oh, wow. He's like so grateful to have an avocado.
No, it's just, I don't know. I mean, we've talked about this before, but the generation that you and I are, we are the first of everything in technology. We went from no computers to computers, and then computers to laptops, and like really crappy games to like gaming systems that are, I mean, in my opinion, outside of this world. As
Yeah.
far as the graphics and stuff, VHS,
Especially on
DVD,
PC.
Blu-ray, 4K, and then like now everything's like digital.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when Netflix wasn't even
Came in the mail.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what put Blockbuster out of business.
Yep.
And then Blockbuster tried that whole like subscription thing. Like,
It failed miserably. Because
yeah.
everybody's like, Netflix is cheaper. It's
Yeah.
quicker. It works. I think Netflix had more, I think they had more options available too, which
Yeah,
is one of the big things.
yeah,
Like
by more
Blockbusters.
options, by meaning they have
Everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Anything you
Blockbusters
could
and
ever
that
think
shit.
of. But like I remember,
Be kind,
actually,
rewind.
there's one Blockbuster left.
Yeah, the original one.
Yeah, it's in Oregon.
Yeah. Is it in Oregon?
I think it's is it Oregon or Oregon?
I don't know. However you pronounce. We're from Michigan, so Oregon.
Oregon?
Or no, I don't know. Oregon.
I don't know.
I have an Oregon.
You
I
have
don't.
Oregon.
I don't live in Oregon.
Or is that or is the state
Or
Oregon?
I think it should be pronounced Oregon.
Well, it's funny because
Oregon
Charlotte,
Trail.
North Carolina is
Charlotte.
spelled the same way as Charlotte, Michigan,
Yeah, that's dumb.
because we're weird.
Yeah.
Because we're French, and you don't want to admit that, but this state was founded by French people.
I don't give a shit. Who cares?
No, but like, it's just one of those crazy things to where we've seen it all.
Yeah, we really have.
The only thing is, what's next?
I told I was talking to my fiance's grandma yesterday. I said, "Did you think 20 years ago that we'd have like cell phones like we do today?" And because it was on the TV, a commercial was for that like digital mirror for people that work out. You ever seen that?
No.
Yeah, it's like a mirror, but it's like a LCD screen, and it actually is like linked up through Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or whatever. And you can actually like watch somebody through the mirror, like work out with you like a trainer, and it's them like playing on the mirror, but you can also like, because it's a mirror, so you can see yourself and everything. It's like a digital mirror.
No thanks.
Yeah, well, so that's what I asked her. I said, "You think 20 years ago that you'd be having fucking digital mirrors where people are working out with you on the other end?" Woo! She's like, "No, I didn't even think the cell phones would be the way they are."
I remember me and my cousin
Yeah.
putting in like workout tapes from like the 80s and like just like watching, see how hot these women were.
Flashdance.
Oh yeah. but like, because my son, we were at Disc Traders because I bought him Mario Party, and he said something. I said, "What'd you say, buddy?" He goes, "Next time we come here, can we get some VR?" I went, "Virtual reality?"
Now you're talking about big money, kid.
Yeah, because he wants Oculus.
Yeah, the Rift.
Yeah, the big one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
Couple grand. isn't
when
it?
when is enough? Like, when does technology go, all right, we're good. We don't need anything else. Is it just going to keep on going
Well, those are.
until we're flying cars and we have robots
I fucking hope
working
so.
for us?
Can you imagine how
and-
cool it'd be to like fly around in a car? That'd be awesome. It'd be
Yeah,
fucking sweet.
I heard people talk about it, and that's fine. But okay, so when you wreck a car, in the road because we're all reckless individuals.
Yeah.
That's fine. You're still on the ground. You might get a little fucked up, but you're fine.
Yeah.
What happens when you're 4,000 feet in the air and you wreck your car?
I'm sure there's listen, the technology will be so advanced if that time ever comes that there will be all sorts of anti-collision fucking sensors and everything. You'll be good. You'll be good.
Well, the answer to your question is,
Or there'll be teleportation, and
magnets.
That's
is how they would do cars. Is they'll put magnets in the like all around the car. So if you get too close to another car, the magnets will push them away, so you won't even be able to hit a car.
Maybe what happens if it pushes too far?
One problem at a time.
Smoke a telephone pole or something.
Well, that's the one thing I was curious about was the Jetsons. Like when, because the Jetsons came out in the 70s. I think it was the 70s, 60s or 70s. But what time was the Jetsons like molded
I remember
for?
you saying that because it looks like it's like 50s, but they're flying cars and it's all in the future in space. So I don't know. Maybe history like resets itself with still retaining the technology that's.
Well, just like in Back to the Future, like when Marty went to the future, it was like 2018, right?
It was 2020, I thought.
No, it was 2017 because the year that the Cubs won the World Series was when the Cubs won the World Series in real life.
Was it?
Yeah, all that shit happened. I think it was like 35 years from 1987 or something like that. I think that's what it was. But no, it's just
I can't remember.
Because remember the
almanac.
Remember how I said the Cubs won, so that what was his name? Biff went back and bet on that team and won a bunch of money and was filthy rich.
That's the second.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I thought you were talking about the first one because I thought the first one took place in 2020.
No, the first one was when they went back. Right? They went back when he met his mom and dad. And then the second one was when they went to the future.
I fucking remember.
And then the third one was when he went way back to like the 1860s or 1870s.
Yeah, the third one is definitely like the cowboy one.
Yeah. That one's probably my favorite.
Yeah, so the first one is he goes back to 1955 from 1985.
Because he plays Johnny B. Good on the guitar, and he's like, "Oh, you guys aren't ready for this yet." He said, "Your kids will really like this." And the second one was when they went into the future. I'm pretty sure it was 2017 or 2016. But that's one of my favorite 80s movies.
Yeah, I liked them. I always liked them. Oh, so Back to the Future Part 2, which was released in 1989, after visiting 2015, Marty McFly must repeat his visit to 1955.
Yep. So it's 15. Okay. I knew it was like it's already past of where we're at right now.
Okay. Remember that jacket? Oh, it's too big. It doesn't fit. It pulls the strings like.
Nike actually made those
lace-up shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris and I were talking about those at work the other day.
You can't afford them. They're like $500, but
I would. Yeah, but they'd probably quit working after like 2 automatic lace-ups.
I don't know.
Plus, just tie your shoes, or just have the fucking special straps.
So you're telling me if they came out with a real hoverboard like that, even if it was $1,000, you wouldn't buy it?
No.
Oh, I would 100% buy it.
No.
That'd be so
because
cool.
I couldn't afford it anyways.
Oh, you can afford it.
Just to fucking break it. That's what would happen.
I'd want those lace-up shoes so bad.
Nah, those things are whack.
Oh,
just tie your shoes. They get retard straps. What does it matter?
I just think they're cool. I'm nostalgic, man. I like that kind of shit.
I am too, but I'm not gonna spend $1,000 on.
Like there's I think it's the Camaro and the Chevelle, and you can get Mustang bodies. So like instead of finding an old car, you can literally buy a brand new chassis from Ford
and just put an old body on it.
Yeah, but
the real
like hot rod enthusiast, they shit on those because they're not original cars.
Oh well, Jay that we work with, what's he call the cars that he does, and he claims he's the first person to do it, where it's like.
Oh, resto mods?
No, but it's like an old body, but he puts like new stuff inside of it.
I hate to tell you or Jay Beagle this, but Richard Rawlings has done it. There's
No, I know.
companies-
I'm just saying it's that Jay. That's what he says though. He's like, well, we were the first person to do it. I'm like,
First of all, he doesn't do anything. He's just a wrench. His brother-in-law, who's got all the money that pays for all this stuff, he's the one who's thought of all this ideas.
that's true.
But no, I mean, with technology, I'm good. Everything I have right now, I don't need anything more. I don't need more stuff in my house that will
Yes, you do. Yeah, but you will. He will anyways.
potentially record my conversations and all that other crazy stuff. My wife wants a Google Home.
No,
I'm
bad
like,
news.
no, that's what I said. I said,
They're always listening.
absolutely not. She goes, well, they're already listening anyway. I'm like, I just don't want to add
Right,
more
but I don't
stuff
want
to
more
it.
people listening.
Right. It's just it's too much. And she's like, oh,
Yeah.
well, there's a, I think it's a Samsung. You can get a Samsung fridge that has a tablet built into the side of it,
Oh, on
where
the side.
you can inventory your groceries.
And if you get low, it fucking.
It'll like email you a grocery list.
We need milk. We need. What's that from? Fuck. It was the Stepford Wives. You ever seen that movie? Is that the name of it?
I don't. That'd be
All
a
the
question
women
for my
are like
wife, not me.
robots and everything, and their fridge is like that. You need milk. You need milk.
Like
Short
I remember
circuits.
when those TV fridges first came out, I thought they were cool because they were just like iPads where you could
Yeah.
still watch TV. and
Shitty
stuff.
little TV screen though.
But like all this other stuff, like, I don't need any of it. Like Ford said they sell like something crazy like 100,000 F-150s a day.
I don't believe it. There's no way.
There's that's what I'm saying. So a brand new truck's like an $800 truck payment.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? People love it too. They're like, "Oh, I got this brand new truck, but I'm paying like $680 a month to."
That's
fucking
just for the truck. Then you got
$780
to
a
pay
month.
like $300 for
Like for
full coverage
insurance and
insurance.
shit?
So you're
Yeah,
paying like
holy fuck.
$1,100 a month.
Fucking crazy.
I'd rather drive my 2005, 2006 truck that's paid off.
Well, I have no choice to drive my fucking '08 Fusion. Like I said, I can't afford full coverage. I won't until I'm like 30 something.
Well, that's because you're an idiot.
No, I just got unlucky. That's all.
Unlucky. That's a way of putting it.
No, it's still crazy though. Paying $700 a month for fucking POPD when I was 18 for insurance. Fucking nuts.
It's went down since then, though, right?
Oh, yeah, it's gone
since you're
way-
25.
Yeah, it's gone way down because that was when I was on my own plan, and then I couldn't afford it because I made like 20 grand that year, and like over half of it was to fucking car insurance. And then I was like, I can't keep doing this.
That's crazy.
And then that's when I got pulled over in Stockbridge because that fucking cop profiled me, and that's when I had that was at that time that I had no insurance or registration, shit like that. So he's like, we're gonna impound your car. I'm like, all right, take it. I'm done with it. It's a beat up piece of shit. The guy at the lot at the scrapyard, I went to go pick it up, and he's like, all right, here's all your fees and everything for storing it here and yada yada. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want it. He's like, all right, I'll cut you a deal. He's like, I'll scrap it for you, and then I'll just charge you for how many days it was here. I was like, okay, that's fine. So he wasn't going to charge me for the tow fee and shit like that. I was like, all right, cool. Because like what I would get for scrap for it, he put that on the tab, and then what was left over was like the impound fee.
you
so
still
I-
had to pay some?
Yeah, I think I paid like $75 as opposed to like 200 and something bucks. And then went without a car. But yeah, that was when I had no insurance registrations. And then when I bought this car, and then I was on my dad's insurance, and I was still paying $350 a month for PLPD. Did that for like 3 years, and then finally they emailed me. They're like, hey, you're 25 years old. It's probably cheaper to be on your own. I'm like, oh, okay. But what was funny about it is when they sent my dad that email originally, so he told me about it. So I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'll go get a quote. But first I went to go read the email. And like at the bottom in fine print, it was like renter's insurance, like home insurance. I'm like, oh, you fucking pieces of shit. Like got me all excited. Like I'm my own auto insurance, I'll be able to afford it. And there's like renter insurance. But I was like, I'm still curious though. So I went on there and did like a quote. It ended up being cheaper. I'm like, fuck. But when I went on my own again though, I was still paying $240 something a month. It's down to $195 now.
I literally pay.
I don't care. You know how many people tell me that? I pay like $80 for full coverage on like 3 cars. Yeah, good for you. Congrats.
Well,
I'm proud of you.
When my grandma was driving, because she hasn't drove for a few years now, but I think she had my sister's car on her insurance, her car, and like maybe my aunt's car too, but it was like 3 or 4 cars. She paid like $112 for like 3 or 4 cars for like comprehensive because she'd been with the same insurance company for like 100 years.
Yeah.
You know? And I think I pay, because I just switched. I had Progressive, and my bill kept on getting higher and higher and
Progressive
higher.
is expensive.
So I went, all right, well, F all this. So I went to Esurance, and I think I pay like $170 for 2 cars with comprehensive, which
Yeah,
it's not terrible.
bad. Yeah.
And I pay the 6-month premium, so they get me a better discount, so I don't pay monthly.
Yeah.
So it's way better that way. But I don't understand why we have car insurance. I don't understand why it's required. I understand if you have like a new car and you want to, like, in case you wreck it, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if I wreck my shit box, just whatever.
Well, I don't. It's not so much as like the car. It's if bodily injuries is what the thing it really covers.
I have medical insurance. I don't need auto insurance for that.
Yeah, but they want money though. Is your medical gonna cover some random stranger that you just fucking made road pizza with?
That sounds like their problem. Maybe they need to have medical insurance.
Yeah, just because you have fucking Medicare doesn't mean that they don't need like money for you running them over.
Well, first of all, that sounds like a problem they need to deal with, not me.
Well, that's what insurance is for.
See, you're right in Michigan because this is an.
Fuck. Listen, Michigan is the dumbest fucking state for insurance because they say they have that no fault bullshit.
Yep.
But every time somebody gets into an accident, somebody's getting fucked in the ass with a ticket. And I'll tell you what, it's been me every time. When it hasn't been my fault every time.
Yeah, I remember. I was. This is probably last fall. I was getting prescriptions for my wife's grandma in town,
Nana?
and they have like parallel parking. Like there's no normal parking in the town square, so I had to park. My parallel parked my truck. It was a little tight, but I'm like, yeah, I can get there. I know I can because I know how big my truck is and I can drive.
Is this the one where the dude like fucking
Yeah. So
crazy person?
So I park. Everything's fine. I get my son out, or I almost get my son out, and this guy wakes up because he was asleep. Like he was asleep at the wheel, probably because he was cracked out. He gets out. He's like, "Hey, you hit my car." I'm like, "No, I didn't." He's like, "Yeah, the fuck you did." I was like, "Hold on one second." And I walked in. I was like, "Eli, just be 1 second, okay?" So I went back over. I said, "So I hit your car." He said, "Yeah, you woke me up." I said, "This truck hit that car." He went, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, well, my truck weighs like 7,000 pounds, and you have a little tiny car. If I would have hit your car, first of all, I would have felt it. Second of all, there'd be damage."
Yeah.
So I walked over. I went, "So where's the damage? Where did I hit your car?" And he's like, "Well, I don't see it." I said, "Well, we can call the cops. I mean, we can file a police report right now." He's like, "Oh, no, let's not do that." I see a guy. I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I thought, asshole." It's like, but like, all right, say that was the case, and say we did call the police and file a police report. I'd probably still get a ticket.
Yeah, probably.
Because he would say something, I would say something else, and then the cop can't take sides, so he's like, "All right, well, this is what happened. You."
He says that you hit him,
Yep.
so you're getting the ticket.
Yep.
Yep.
I got rear-ended and got a ticket.
Yeah, it happened.
I was literally at a stoplight, minding my own business. A hearse, like an old, like 19, like it was like a 1980s hearse. This guy was driving, barreled into me, fucked my car up, and I got a ticket. But no,
Because you got shitty with him, that's why.
well, I was in Jackson and he had an attitude. Because he's like, "Well, this guy's telling me that you were doing an improper lane change." I'm like, "I was sitting at a red light."
Wasn't even moving.
Right. And he's like, "Well, that's not what the guy's telling me." I'm like, "Well, the guy's full of shit." And he's like, "Well, sir, you don't need to yell." I'm like, "But you're not listening to me. He's not telling you the truth."
Sir, calm down. I'm calm.
And he's like, "I'll be right back." And he's like, "Here's your ticket." I'm like, "For what?" He's like, "Because of what happened." I said, "I'm trying to tell you what happened, but you're not listening to me."
You're lucky he didn't tase your ass.
And I said something like, "Did he pay you off or something?" And then he's like,
God.
and he like,
Yeah,
threw
they
the
don't
ticket
like
at-
that.
No, I was like,
Fuck
"Come on,
no.
man." What I wanted to say was, what he give you a blowjob? Would we give you a little handy? What happened? Just tell me. I'm
Yeah, that's what you don't want to say.
I'm a
to
ball
cop.
player. I'm
I'm a ball player.
Eh,
I'll take him for the team.
Yeah, come on. I mean, I mean, just get on my left-hand side. I'm a lefty. I'm a little better with my left.
Whip out that hog. Let me see what you got,
yeah,
buddy.
I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
Can you believe Chris? You know how his Mini Cooper, have you seen it?
Oh, how his
That's
wife
all
got
absolutely
swiped?
fucked up. Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
still trying to drive it. So she was driving, and the other guy hit a car and then bumped into her lane and then like sideswiped her shit as she was driving past.
Yeah.
So fucked it all up. Well, he's been trying to fix it. So I guess he put he zip tied or did something with some LED light for the headlight. He like put a mirror from his old Volkswagen Beetle on, and then I go to work and Tina and I pull into the parking lot and we see him pulling. I'm like, man, look at that fucking thing. It literally looks like a skeleton, like it's just been skinned alive.
Just
And
on the one side.
Yeah, and I get out and he's walking up. I was like, hey man, car's looking pretty good. He's like, you'll never guess what happened today coming in. I was like, what did you get pulled over? He's like, no, that would make more sense. He's like, I got hit. I was like, wait, again? He's like, yeah, I got hit by some lady in a fucking Jeep. I was like, seriously? He's like, yeah, I stopped at a fucking stoplight and this fucking chick rear-ended me and everything. Or no. He said he stopped and she was in front of him and there was a traffic jam or something and she backed into him. So he said he saw her turn her reverse lights on and she was trying to go back. And he's like, I thought about honking the horn, but I just decided she's not going to stop. So I'm going to put mine in reverse. But before I could even get my car in reverse,
Wham!
she backed into him because like somebody else was backing up. So it was like this whole like clusterfuck. And he said he gets out and she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Some young college chick. And then he said he wanted to get her number. So they swapped phones. And you know how people like punch the number in the phone and like click call, so like you can save it as like a recent without actually going through your contacts. So he
Never
said,
did that.
well, he said he tried to do it, but the call never went through to his phone. And so she has his number, but he doesn't have hers. Well, he hasn't heard from her since, obviously. But he also said that when she got out, she's like, I'll give you money right now, you know, and we can just like go our separate ways. Don't call the cops. I'm like, you know why she did that, right?
Probably gonna have insurance.
Yeah. I said, dude, the only time people would ever say something like that is if they don't have insurance. He's like, really? I'm like, oh yeah. And he's like, well, I can't get a hold of her. I still haven't heard nothing from her. And then he said his wife was talking about, well, we need to drive around and go find her car and find her house. You know, I know she lives around us because that's what she told him when they got into the altercation.
So what are you gonna do? You gonna drive around, find out, and just beat the shit out of her?
Wow.
Pick her up by her
Yeah,
legs and dump
there's nothing
the
you can do when
change
you
out of her pockets?
Call the cops and say, hey, this lady hit me. I found her. They'd be like, I don't give a shit.
No.
The fuck?
Oh, that's crazy.
I was laughing though. He's like, no, I just got fucking hit again. I'm like, are you serious? He went and got a door for it last week. Picked up a door.
Well, the thing barely runs too. You hear it run?
Yeah, it's like glum, 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 glum. He said the timing chain's all fucked up on it. The timing chain's all loose, so it's just smacking around in there and everything. So he spent like $400 on this whole package of like the thermostat housing. It's not like the actual thermostat like we're used to with old cars. You just pull it out. It's like an entire housing that you have to buy. It's like $300. So you had to buy that. You had to buy the timing chain, which is going to be like $1,000. He said, and then the special tool that you have to buy because you don't like put a timing light on it to time it. It's like some little fucking wrench that you wrench a certain amount of times and it auto does whatever. It's weird. So he had to buy all that shit. So he's trying to get that going. I'm like, dude, why don't you just scrap it? And like,
So he must owe money on the car still.
no.
They paid it off? Like,
Oh, I don't know actually.
because if I, all right, so
Maybe he does owe money, but yeah, but still,
if all that stuff happened to my truck,
it's fucking done.
I would literally, even if I went and scrap it, I would literally find the biggest lake I could. I would put the truck in drive and put a brick on the gas pedal and just let it do its thing. Because,
Sir, that's illegal.
yeah, it happens all the time. All kinds of stuff's illegal. But no, it's like, that's crazy. It's also the same guy that has 6 kids and
5. Yeah, 5.
5 kids?
Yeah.
That's like,
He said.
Way too many.
He said like, well, they would have had 7, but they lost 2 of them. They had miscarriages.
and they have like 13 ducks and 8 chickens and
Yeah, they got all sorts of animals. They got a pig named Wilbur. He said the pig bit him the other day too. He's like, grumpy old fuck. I was like, yeah, you need to give him a woman. Keep him happy. He's like,
Wow.
yeah, I know it.
or you can slit his throat and turn it into
Or
some
turn it
food.
into fucking. Well, that's his daughter's pet. He can't do it. He can't kill it.
No. He can. He just doesn't want to. Two different things.
True. I think you should get another female pig. Start making little baby piggies.
Oh
Use
yeah,
those for
then you have
bacon.
like 35 in
Bake
2
'em.
years.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Screw
I
that.
would. You want your question of the day?
Yeah, what is it?
It's a simple one this time. Who is your favorite musician?
Growing up? Or like right now?
Why? See, why do you always gotta put this like crazy spin on it? It's just a simple question. Who is your favorite musician
Well, because you said who was your favorite
ever?
musician,
Who's
not who
who's
is.
always been your favorite? No, I didn't say who was. I said who is. I talk with a little bit of lisp, so I'm sorry about your.
I really like Tom Morello.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Not a fan.
Eh.
I really like.
Nah, he's cool.
I really like Jimmy Page. Zach Wilde.
Okay, but who's your favorite?
I don't know. It's too hard. Probably. I would probably say Tom Morello. Just because
Now that's your.
yeah, probably because and you're in that world way more than I am. But to me, the stuff he's done on a guitar is inventive.
Van Halen did it first.
I know that's fine. But I don't really like Van Halen, and I don't know why. Like
A lot of people don't.
I don't know if it's because like they're. I mean, they're not even really like AC/DC
Well,
because all their songs are different. But like,
There's always that thing though, is people don't. It's like, do you like Van Halen? Yes or no? Yes, okay. And then it boils down to, do you like Sammy Hagar or do you like David Lee Roth? And then you have the real left and right people of Hagar and Roth.
which one created Cabo Wabo? Was that
That's Hagar.
Hagar?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
still owns rights to like a bunch of songs.
And he's
That's
the
why
s-
they play him all the
And
time.
he's the same guy that I think it was the E News asked him how much money's in his bank account, and he said, "I don't know, never checked."
Yeah, probably a lot. Because have you seen how many people go to that fucking Cabo Wabo thing?
Oh, probably.
I was watching it was either Playdia or Access TV, and it was them playing at their Cabo Wabo.
Which one does the that I Drive 55 song? Is that
That might be Roth.
David Lee Roth?
Yeah.
He's the one with long hair, right? And Sammy Hagar's like got the afro.
I don't
He's
know
got,
what
like,
they look
curly
like
hair.
now. Sammy Hagar is a bigger dude.
Yeah.
David Lee Roth wears like glitter pants and comes in flying the jetpack on stage and everything.
Yeah.
He's a showmanship.
And another band that is like world renowned that I can't stand is Aerosmith. I hate Aerosmith.
It's Steven Tyler. I fucking hate Steven Tyler's face. I hate his voice. I hate his mouth. I don't know why. I just do. I'm sure he might be a really good guy, but
Did you see that?
I can't stand him.
You know, he's got like this huge like car collection. He's got like a Bugatti Veyron, which is like the fastest.
He's got all
electric-
sorts of crazy shit.
You also know he's on a driver's license. He doesn't drive any of these cars.
And he's also like all sorts. What's that big like charity he's a part of? Like women rights, like not getting like domestic violence things. He runs like shelters for women that get beat up.
But he looks like one.
A beat up woman?
Yeah.
Oh, he for sure does. Yeah, he definitely does.
Because doesn't he have a daughter that was in like one of their music videos back in the day?
I don't know.
I think
Maybe.
so.
Probably.
Yeah.
Sweet child of mine. That's Guns N' Roses.
I can't stand
I hate
Axl
Axl
Rose.
Rose.
Axl Rose
Yeah,
is so
dude,
good.
everybody hates Axl Rose.
You know he's singing for AC/DC?
Yeah. Is he actually? Is that confirmed? He's doing that?
No, they're touring with him. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus, that's fucking.
But they're not
awful.
making any new songs. He's just singing
course
old
not.
songs.
You think he's gonna sit down and write a new song?
No.
You seen that fat loser?
He's the reason. And he wears like skin tight leather
Oh, I
pants, and
know.
he's got like a gut over.
It's so bad. He can't sing for shit anymore either.
No, and
Fucking funny.
I mean he's the sole reason why Guns N' Roses broke up. Slash just couldn't deal with them anymore.
Oh fuck yeah.
Because what band is Slash in now? He was in
Miles Kennedy and Slash, they did a thing together.
no, but he had a band that he was in. A different band.
I don't know. I never really listened to any of Slash's stuff.
Oh really?
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, he's a cool guitar player though.
yeah,
I
no,
like him. I just don't listen to any of their more modern music.
yeah. Because Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue, he's in that band 6 a.m.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I like some of their songs.
But no, I mean, listen, I like Pantera. I go.
See, I hate
Kills-
Pantera.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it too much? Too in
Nah,
your face?
I hate the like singing and vocals.
Yeah, but see,
Some-
Dimebag
some-
Daryl is such a good guitarist. That
I
can
know,
deal
I
with
know. No, rest in peace. But there's nothing wrong with his playing or anything. I like the instrumentals. I just didn't like the singing and shit behind it. I like Damage Plan. I just didn't like Pantera. Damage Plan was basically the same thing.
Yeah.
It was Dimebag Daryl and all them.
So what about like some of the other like Megadeth? You like Megadeth?
Not really.
Slayer.
Not really.
So you're just not into like that.
That's like, how would I describe it?
That's like hard rock.
It's like
before-
long. It's like 80s long hair like metal.
But see, it's not. It's
It's
not
like
hair metal.
it's like cheesy metal.
But it's not hair metal though, because hair metal's totally different thing.
Hey, hair metal's like D. Snyder.
Yeah, like Twisted Sister.
So that's just how I.
and,
That's just. It's all in the
what's
same
that one with
category.
Sebastian Bach? What band was he in?
Skid Row.
Skid Row. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of.
He actually has his own, like solo band album. And it's actually pretty fucking good.
You know how annoying his voice is though. Hey, well, it's Sebastian Bach.
It's it's not as bad on that new shit that he does, but it's pretty fucking cool.
You ever seen?
I like the way it's mixed too. They go to the same studio that Tremonti band goes to.
Oh yeah.
The Mark Tremonti from
Yep.
Alter Bridge and Creed, yeah, his own
Yep.
band. They all go to that same studio. So I love the way it's mixed and sounds.
That band's your shit anyway.
What?
Tremonti or whatever it is.
No, I mean I like him, yeah, but my answer to that would be like David Gilmour. He's like my favorite musician.
Why does that name sound so familiar?
Pink Floyd.
Yep.
You fucking uncultured swine.
I love Pink Floyd,
Yeah.
but I'm not good with names.
No, it's Roger Waters and David Gilmour's.
They were
That's like Pink Floyd's version of like Hagar and Roth. That's like the big battle there. It's like,
Oh,
oh, do you
see.
like Roger Waters? You like David Gilmour?
See,
'Cause
I like
they're
Roger
both-
Waters.
They're both like main writers and guitar players. Yeah, Roger Waters he's a good writer, but I mean, David Gilmour, they're kind of
Who was
they're
a part
equally
of?
matched.
Who did Dark Side of the Moon? Was that Roger Waters?
probably, I think so.
Yeah. And then
Well,
so,
Roger Waters' name's on everything though, but he's not always the one
Is he
that
a
like
founding
plays
member?
and
Is that
records.
why?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like when Pink Floyd's on tour, there's guitar player specific tours. So there's like David Gilmour or there's Roger Waters that they have.
So they won't do it together.
I don't know if they have or not.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'd have to look into that. You would. I don't know.
Well, all right. Well, that's
But
another.
I love David Gilmour's like playing style.
Yeah.
And I like both of their writing, but
Well, see, and that's a question that I've asked, my wife, and I'll ask you that too. If you could go back in time to see any show with the original band ever, who would it be?
I'd go to Woodstock and watch like all fucking.
My answer would either be
I would go to Woodstock to see Hendrix.
either I'd love to see
And Santana when he was all fucked up and
I'd either want to see the Who when they were first
that would
there
be really cool. Yeah.
with Keith Moon
Yeah.
or Zeppelin in like the early 70s,
Zeppelin would be fucking cool.
because I don't know if you ever watched Led Zeppelin, The Song Remains the Same.
Yeah.
I watched that all messed up, and that is such a cool little bit. It's crazy that like bands don't do that kind of stuff anymore. Metallica did
Because
one, didn't they?
Because what?
Did they do like a movie thing like that? Seems like
They
did.
might have. I don't know. A lot of them. A lot of them
Because Pink Floyd did
do
one.
it, but it's not really like a documentary anymore. It's kind of like a update type series that they do. Like, oh, we're on the road. Update. Here's this, and this is what's going on and stuff.
I just think it would be
It's not like a true
because
documentary.
Pink Floyd, was it the Wall? That one's cool too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Stevie Ray Vaughan did one too. Like that was just something that big bands did.
Yeah.
But like back
The
in
last-
like the mid 2000s, they did VH1 like making the video, and like they would do like an expose on like bands and like
Yeah.
what they're doing and
Yeah.
stuff.
By the way, why don't VH1 come back, please? What the fuck? MTV, can you play music again?
When did VH1 stop? I guess I just
2000 around there.
I remember because I have a channel on that's been on
Probably
for
to like 2007 or something.
Fuse.
Yeah. Yeah.
They still do music videos.
I don't know why it's not on basic cable anymore.
No, I mean I have it, but that's only because I pay a bunch of money for
Oh.
stuff. But no, like I loved Headbangers Ball on MTV too.
Yeah.
I used to watch Headbangers
Fuck
Ball all
yeah.
the time. But no, it's like my wife watches this. It's just crap. I call it smut TV. Like all these reality TV shows.
Yeah.
And it drives me crazy. Like she doesn't watch Jersey Shore anymore, but she did.
Oh my god.
And she watches like all this other stuff. And I'm like, this is the reason why I can't watch music videos on TV because everyone like her watches just crap.
So that's what's on. That's what is paid to be put
And she
on television.
watches it's a show on CMT. It's like Dallas Cowboys,
Oh.
the
Oh, the
cheerleader ones.
cheerleader shit. Jesus.
And
Fucking
I've said
kill
this to you
me.
before. I'm like, you're a smart girl. Like you're a smart, articulate woman. Like
Maybe she just wants some mind-numbing material.
just brain melting,
Yeah.
dumb shit.
Everybody wants them every once in a while.
I don't.
I could watch like what you were talking about. I could watch like documentaries of any kind.
Yeah.
But more so music ones or like biographies or, you know,
Yeah.
bibliographies, shit like that. I could watch those all fucking day, every day. The last band that actually did like a documentary was that I knew of was that band Under Oath.
Oh yeah.
And they released that like 3 or 4 years ago because it was like the band like broke up and they're like, oh, so here's like this video of everything, and then they came back. So it's like they had everybody buy this fucking crazy like awfully cut and edited fucking epileptic seizure giving documentary, and then they come back with some fucking shitty alternative record.
Seems like I saw Under Oath at Warped Tour.
Yeah,
In
they
high
used,
school.
they used to be a big band.
Yeah. Yep. Under Oath, Kill Switch.
Yeah, they were a cool ass band.
You see the kind of shit that's in Warped Tour now.
I wouldn't.
It's like all crappy like.
I'm
indie
glad
music
they
and
like
shit.
are shutting it down. Yeah,
Are they? Is it like
Yeah.
done?
I think so.
It was cool
It's
when
definitely dying off if it isn't done yet.
it's cool. It was cool when they did the Vans Warped World Tour when they always did it at the Comerica Park parking lot.
Yeah, the last time I went, they actually had it at the Palace, the parking lot of the Palace,
Yeah.
which was fucking brutally hot because they just like blacktopped everything.
Oh, so it was like
just
130
it was
degrees.
fresh fucking blacktop. It was like in July. I think it was like July. I don't remember.
Palace is torn
20th
down
or
now.
something. Is it?
Yep.
And it was fucking hot as shit. And we drank so much water, but never went MP'd because we just kept sweating it all out.
Yep. I
That
hate
was a good year though for Warped Tour because that was that's right. I saw Fallen in Reverse. I saw Mice and Men, Breathe Carolina. Who else was there that day? I can't remember, but that's when I went and met. Because at the beginning of like Warped Tour, when you rush through the fucking gates, you can like go to like these vendors and get these like little icon token
Yeah.
items to like present it to the band if you get one in time before they're all taken up, and you can go and like meet them and greet them. So I met with Mice and Men. I walked past Breathe Carolina's tent and like shouted to them along with my brother-in-law, and then that was it. But they were cool. This asshole when I met Mice and Men, this asshole was like, one item per signing, please. I'm like, the fuck? Because they gave you this poster. It was a poker chip, and you give them the poker chip, and they go, okay, yeah, here's your poster. Have them sign it. So this guy was like going around just being a fucking dick. I'm like, nah, fuck that. So I had my white fitted hat back then, and so I had him all sign the poster, and I was like, hey, will you guys sign my hat too? He's like, yeah, fuck that guy. so they were all signing the fucking hat. It's fucking funny.
What was it you said to? Was it Brendan a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was? I think it was a couple weeks ago. You're like, oh, hey, did you get that email?
Yeah, because I was looking for something. He's like, what are you looking for? I'm like, in my head, I'm like, why does it even matter to you whatsoever?
Did you get the email?
And so I asked him, I was like, oh, you didn't get the email? He's like, what email? I was like, you didn't get the email, did you? He's like, no, what email? I was like, oh, you didn't? Well, that's probably none of your fucking business. he just like looked at me and was like, huh.
I said that shit to him. What you used to say all the time. He asked me some stupid fucking question, and I went, "If I gave you $1 million, could you figure it out?"
Yeah, for $1 million, could you figure it out
He's
on
like,
your own?
Yeah, and then you just walked away like a little
Oh, yeah.
little
Yep.
kid.
They always say that too. Somebody asks you a dumb question, you go, for $1 billion, could you figure it out by yourself? Could you figure it out? And they will always say, well, yeah. I'm like, okay, well then get to it.
Whoa.
Don't bother me anymore. Continue on.
Oh man, it's weird because he's at that age gap because he's younger than you. I think he's 21, 22.
Yeah.
So like we have stuff in common, but my sisters are that age, and I don't even look at people that age at the same level.
Does he even do anything?
He plays Fortnite.
But okay, again, does he even do anything?
Like work wise?
Ever?
Yeah,
It was with his personal life.
Yeah, I just told you what he does.
That's it.
And he
doesn't have any like cool hobbies. Doesn't like go out and do stuff.
He goes to the gym.
Does he collect
with his
any?
girlfriend?
Oh, that's ironic. You seen that kid? He does not go to the gym.
He told me he weighs like 280 or 270.
I believe it.
I think he says he's like down to 250
he's a fucking
now.
big boy.
He's always been big though. I actually coached him playing baseball.
He looked bigger when I first started working.
Yeah.
That was 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, he was there when you first started there.
He was on days.
He's been there 2 years now.
Oh, almost. Yeah, coming up July.
Damn. You need to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck you.
I actually have a job interview in a week.
No, you don't.
I sure do.
You say that all the time, and then you're still here.
I'll show it to you right now. I ain't lying.
Did you speaking of Tom Morello, did you see on Facebook about how they're charging like $300 a ticket? Even though they're like this huge political, like all against capitalism band and everything, and then they're going to charge $300. Rage Against the Machine.
Because he was a guitarist for Soundgarden too, right?
Tom Morello?
Yeah. No.
I don't know.
Audio Slave.
Oh,
that was the other band. Yeah, he was a guitarist for Audio Slave. I forgot about that
band actually, but yeah. So they're charging like $300 for fucking a ticket.
Schedule interview.
Oh, welcome to Tech and Talk.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy? $300. Tina said something about My Chemical Romance the other day too.
$600.
Yeah, the one she said that she saw was like $650.
The 600's for shit seats.
Get fucked.
No, I would not do that.
You're fucking crazy.
I was talking to my wife about that, but she
relive some childhood drama.
So she's older than I am, so she was at the peak of the boy band stage. She was into it.
Yeah, and her whole body was in that.
Well, because I guess I didn't know this then because I listened to kind of all of it. But I listen to everything then like I listen to everything now.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
But like each girl, they have their own boy band that they were a part of.
Oh yeah.
So like there was Backstreet Boy girls, there was NSYNC girls, there was O-Town girls.
Back, all right.
What was the other one with
NSYNC?
No, the one with Nick Lachey and
I don't even know who
his
Nick
brother
Lachey is.
Yeah, Nick Lachey had a reality TV show with Jessica Simpson on MTV for like a year.
I don't remember.
My wife could tell you this. So anyway,
I'm sure.
So she is a NSYNC girl. So I told her about the My Chemical Romance tickets, and she's like, "Oh, that's cool." I'm like, "They're $600." She's like, "Oh, well, fuck that."
Well, yeah.
Because to listen to that kind of music, I'd have to like dumb myself down and start hating myself and start like.
I don't even think that. You just kind of have to.
The music in the time was good, but it's
I didn't think so. I don't like My Chemical Romance.
No, my.
There's better like scene bands out there than
that kind
Panic
of music.
At the Disco.
No, Hawthorne Heights is my band.
I forgot about that band. Outside of your window with my radio. I remember seeing like I remember seeing like the commercials for that band on MTV all the time, like Victory Records, and it shows like the music video for that song.
Isn't that the record company you tell me that fucked everybody?
Well, specifically Day to Remember.
Yeah.
And they won the lawsuit, but
because early 2000s seemed like everybody was a part of Victory Records.
Yeah, people still are now, but I mean, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
The reason why they try to fuck A Day to Remember is because every time you get signed to a record deal, it's a record deal, meaning you have to produce this many albums for this year or however many years. So A Day to Remember was like, okay, we're going to make this many albums and then we're going to be done with this and go start our own record company.
Right.
So instead of making like brand new albums, they would release like deluxe albums, which you see bands do all the time. If you ever wonder why they do that, it's for that reason.
They'll add a couple tracks to it. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
and it'll technically count as a new album, even though it's like a reissued album with a couple new songs on it. Or they'll do like a live album. So
Well-
A Day to Remember did all that, and then Victory Records tried to say, well, no, you're not fulfilling your part of the contract. You're not making new records. And they're like, yeah, no, we are. This is a new record. There's new songs on here, yada yada. And this was in the process of when they were about to release their album Common Courtesy on their own, self-titled and everything. So Victory Records was suing them. So it, like, fucked up their whole plan to like release Common Courtesy and all that shit because they were all worried about that. But then they ended up winning.
So when you have a record deal and you write music and you put the music that you guys wrote and recorded on an album, who owns the rights to that music?
I believe.
Does it
the
depend
record-
on how the contract is?
Yeah, maybe, but I would assume most of the record company owns it.
So let me get this straight.
Bands don't profit off of shit,
No,
even if they are on a record deal. Bands
unless
are-
you're like a band like Metallica or
fucking broke.
some huge band.
Well, yeah, but they're only rich because like merchandise, even still.
Yeah.
That's the only way people get rich, being in a band.
So, but hold on, let me get this straight. So you sit down and you think of lyrics, and then you write these lyrics down, and you record chords on a guitar that you own on recording.
Yeah, you have rights to the song, but you don't really. You're in a contractual, however you say that word. I'm retarded. Agreement with that record.
Contractual.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But you're in an agreement with that record company, so they also have rights to it because they're the ones that's actually like advertising you and putting you out there and all that other shit and
So
paying for your music videos.
So
Paying
if
for
you were in
your
a band
studio
and you had
time.
a record through a certain record company, if you wanted to take that same record and put it on iTunes by yourself and profit off it just by you, could you do that?
I don't know. Probably not. You probably get sued by the record company.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's why if you're gonna make music, the way to do it is just all on your own.
Yeah.
And if just pay for everything by yourself, find, if you don't know how to like mix and record music by yourself, like you don't have like a
Can you
little
just
home
hire
studio.
a studio engineer?
Yeah, you could go to people.
Yeah.
Like when we were in a band, we just went to a guy named Lee Albrecht.
And he did all the stuff.
Yeah, he had his own home studio. That was in Grand Rapids, which if anybody that listens to this wants studio time, Lee Albrecht Studios, look him up. I think he's still in Grand Rapids. Does awesome work.
No, but what I was saying was I was talking to my wife about the NSYNC thing. I was like, she would want to spend $600 to go see My Chemical Romance. I was like, but would you pay $600 to go see NSYNC? She goes, I'd pay like $1,500 to go
Oh
see
my,
NSYNC.
that's so crazy.
Because it's the same way with music. How like if you listen to a song at a certain point in your life, like when you're a kid and you're going through stuff, or even now you're going through stuff, forever. When you hear that same song, it takes you back
Yeah.
to that moment in time.
Oh yeah.
And to her, that shit music that it is, it puts her back into that moment in her life, which was a decent moment.
Coping mechanism.
And music's weird like that. So I'm like, all right. And she's like, well, you'd want to go too, right? I'm like, I guess.
You would have to.
Yeah. I want to spend that kind of money.
That's a
Damn
lot
right
of
I'm
money.
going.
Fuck.
Oh, crazy, man.
I'm getting a hand job from the band. No.
Oh,
Fucking
man.
and it's weird too is because you know how I'm like buying like vinyl now and everything.
Mhm.
It's weird now that like I was talking to Tina about this. Bands nowadays when they like release a new album, you can almost 100% guarantee that like 3 or 4 months from that album release, there's gonna be another album release. It's gonna be the same album, and it's gonna have 2 or 3 extra songs on it that they call deluxe. And then the other thing with that is I fucking hate it because those 3 or 2 or however many extra songs they add onto that same album again, they sound like shit. Meaning the quality of it, like how they mixed it and mastered it. And it's because it was a thrown away song. So they didn't spend any fucking time like actually, engineering the song and making it sound good and, tone and EQ. So then back to that contract agreement, you need to release another album. So they go, oh, okay, well, here's this reissue with these songs that we threw away. we'll just add them on there. So then it's like, God, I fucking hate that because they sound like shit,
'Cause
garbage.
they don't take any time and mix it or anything.
No, because they were throwaway songs. So they're like, all right, well, we'll just add this to this album. There's our second album. Fuck you, contract. It's
That's
like, dude, come
crazy.
on. But then they release vinyl now too, and I'm kind of curious if that counts as like a certain special sale or like album release or anything.
I don't know. I can't tell you the last time I actually bought a CD.
Ah, really?
No, that's not true. I bought the most recent CD I bought was Chris Stapleton's new album that came out last year, 2 years ago. Because I love Chris Stapleton.
2 or 3 years, maybe.
Yeah. No, I mean,
So I still buy CDs just because I like that lossless format, but like it's vinyl is that ultimate lossless separated tone. But
it's coming back though.
yeah, like
definitely-
I got my stack up there that I fucking bought within the past like 4 months. But the problem is they're shitty pressings. So it's like they have a lot of surface noise on them. They have a lot of pops, or they have scratches. Or
That's why you need
it's
to go
just
to like a
not
record
cut.
store and buy old records, not buy new
Right.
records.
If you want a record that is like clean and hopefully like not beat to shit, you have to go to a record store or find it online. But the problem is, if you want like an original pressing, like say the Division Bell from Pink Floyd, my fucking all-time favorite album.
you're gonna spend $100 on it.
Well, I have the reissue up there right now, but it sounds like fucking shit. And not like instrumentally or like tone or sound quality. It's just it's got surface noise, so it's really crackly and poppy and staticky, and it's because they're repressing these records on old presses that were used, back in the 50s, 60s, up until when CDs started taking over. So they got all these old fucking presses. Now they're pressing new records on these dirty fucking shitty old presses, and they come out like shit. It's fucking driving me crazy. And yeah, and that if I wanted that Division Bell album, like an original like pressing, not reissued, it would cost me like fucking $300 unopened. And,
So
and
if
hope
you
it's not a
listen to-
bootleg.
If you listen to these vinyls enough, will they get wore in a little bit to where they'll sound better?
Kind of, yeah. The Wish You Were Here album, Pink Floyd, I have up there. The first time I bought it and played it, it had a lot of pops and like static.
Sounds better now though.
Yeah, the needle kind of like scrapes shit out of the grooves the more you play it. I mean, records do wear out, but
Yeah.
it kind of I guess I used to see it broke in, so it sounded better when I played it a couple days ago.
Have you ever listened to Pink Floyd backwards to
Dark Side of the Moon,
to
Wizard of Oz.
yeah,
No, I don't think that's a real thing.
I tried it. It is.
No, you did not try it.
You can find a video on YouTube on it.
Okay,
And
but that doesn't mean you tried it.
Somebody tried it and I listened to it. Is that better? Where they synced up at the beginning of
Yeah,
the
it
movie.
goes with the whole movie.
It's crazy.
It's weird.
There's some like
That's some bad juju, brother.
no, I was gonna
No.
say that's some Illuminati shit.
Oh,
man.
that too. But yeah, it fucking drives me crazy. And then you're spending still like $30 on a new record, and it's
What-
a reissued, or it's a even if it's a new band, a band that's been formed like 2 years ago, and they release like a brand spanking new record. It's like there's no QA, so they're just pressing these fucked up records and just shitting them out.
It's all about production.
Yeah, exactly. So there's no QA. So it's like, fuck. Because back then in the 70s and 60s and 80s, that's all you had to put your music on.
Right.
So it needed to be pressed good. It needed to sound good. It had to be good. Well, now we have this digital format, so people don't give a shit pressing records anymore.
And it's crazy too. I remember buying CDs. The first CD I ever bought was Linkin Park Meteora, and I think that was like $30, $25.
Yeah, CDs were expensive.
And now I mean, if you go to like Target or anywhere, like
10, $12.
well, that and they have like 30 CDs.
No, yeah.
There's like no selection.
Yeah.
Because that's what I used to love. I used to love going to FYE.
FY still got pretty good selection.
Is there still an FYE in Briarwood? That's gone, isn't it?
I think there is. It's still there.
Is it?
Yeah. The last one I went to was in Jackson. That's
Yeah.
where I got that Pink Floyd vinyl. But
There's an FYE in Jackson?
Yeah. In the
Westwood Mall?
Yeah. Yep.
Thought that was gone.
No.
All the way over by
Real dark though. You gotta be careful.
what?
It's real dark though. You gotta be careful.
Yeah. So I think it's over by Kohl's, right? Right next to Kohl's. You probably don't remember.
No. I think so. I
Yeah.
think like Best Buy and shit's around there.
Yeah, because I mean that's where I'd get like, I was big into like posters,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah,
that
there's
kind of
still,
stuff.
still had posters and shit in there when I
Mm.
went.
See,
They had a pretty good like vinyl collection
Hmm.
in Jackson. They had a lot of movie soundtrack vinyls, which
My
is
wife-
kind of cool.
My wife told me there's a really nice well, it's like a record store. It's a head shop called Dave's, I think. It's in downtown Jackson where they have super nice old vinyls.
Yeah. I wanted to go there to buy that Pink Floyd album.
Did you
but
go?
No, they were already closed.
Mm.
So I was like, well, I wonder if FYE has it. So I looked it up,
Yeah.
and FYE was there, and they had it. So I went and got
And that
it.
guy's cool because if he doesn't have it, he'll be like, "Well, I'll find it and I'll call you."
Well,
when
yeah, I would
have
hope
it."
so. He's a record store.
Yeah, but I mean, because he does a lot more stuff than just records.
Yeah, I'd like to go to that like record expo with Ben one day. How they do it at Weber's Ann
Oh,
Arbor.
yeah,
The
nice.
last one I didn't go because I was up all night getting fucked up. But
Yeah, he's a vinyl whore, so yeah, he's
Yeah.
definitely
I'm-
into it.
I'm getting there. I like it. If you can, problem is finding one that plays good and sounds good. It's a motherfucker. But there's also different. There's people that mix it, master it, because they take these songs, they take the masters of these songs and they convert it to vinyl. But they also like remix it, master it according to
Right.
like their kind of style. So there's actually 2 remasters of that Pink Floyd vinyl.
Probably sounds better than
Different,
what you have, right?
different people. What?
A remastered one.
Well, the one I have up there is it's more of like an analog. It's got kind of a warmer sound to it, and the other guy that mixed and mastered it and put it on vinyl kind of made it more of like a cooler, colder, tighter sound. So it's all in your preference. You just have to look on them and see the names of who converted it, mastered it, and stuff like that. But
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
yeah,
It's 2:00.
yeah. I know. Fuck. I don't want to go to work.
Yeah, me either. There you go. Probably should leave. Go get some coffee.
You got coffee right there. Hey, easy with the fucking table.
Wow, it's like a.
Yeah, it's from the fucking
Oh,
springs.
that's what it was.
Yeah, people are gonna love that.
Uh,
Yeah, thanks for coming over again.
yep, no problem.
I know we gotta get your other mic,
Yep.
get it all set up.
Set up.
It works obviously because that one worked when I
Yep.
had it. But this
All right.
this is our 3rd episode. You want to do 1 more or 2 more and then start releasing them?
Probably one more, then
One
we'll
more.
just release them weekly.
So hopefully by next week we'll have 1 more recorded and we can start releasing them.
Yep.
And again, we have a Facebook page
Yeah. it's-
and an Instagram.
Yep, and they're both at SFR Streams. You can find them pretty easily. Just type that in and just like it and just wait for videos. We'll also post these podcasts to any website that we can find. So
Yeah.
you can look for them on there. I'm sure that you can just type in "Screams for Release" podcast and you'll find it there. And yep, that's it.
Hopefully we're gonna be filming these 2, and
Shortly.
yeah, a couple weeks we'll have a camera and find a way to set all that up so we can actually start putting them on YouTube. And then from there, try to find sponsorship because that's one of the things that we're looking for.
Yep.
So by the time these are released, if you know anybody, I mean, you don't even have to pay us at first. We don't want money. We'll just sponsor you.
I'm a whore for free shit.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
100%.
And again, for those music people out there that looking for studio time, Lee Albrecht Studios. I'm not a sponsor for him in any way, shape, or form. He's just a real cool guy. Knows what he's doing, smart. Got all sorts of crazy shit. So look him up. He's got all sorts of pages, Facebook, Instagram. I think it's just Lee Albrecht Studios.
Cool.
So thanks for listening.
All right, we'll see you guys
We'll
later.
see you guys next time. See ya.